YouTube land, what's up? It's your girl Makar from Cougar's Closet. How y'all feeling out there today? So listen, y'all. Today I want to talk about the public school or the school system. So now I don't have much to say about the public school system because I'm not an expert in that field. I really don't know much about it. But for the school system, I do have a question. And my question is, why doesn't Decatur school system have a performing arts for the kids? Why don't they have a performing arts, a place where the kids, of talent can go to maintain, as long as they maintain their grades, they get to go sing, they get to go dance, get to go play the guitar, they get to go be an actor on Broadway. Why don't they have these things here in Decatur? I've been to a couple of places, Atlanta and Cincinnati. They had performing arts, and that Carmen Electric girl came out of Cincinnati through performing arts. Why don't they have this type of stuff in Decatur for these kids? I was just wondering that because these kids, they jump off the porch with all this talent and ambition, and then they find out that they have the skill, but they don't have anywhere to let it off at. And so that turns into trouble because they back off of the dream now because they don't have any connections or nowhere to go. They back off the dream and start turning to trouble. The gang joining. They're getting pregnant. This is what's starting to go on because they can't live out their dreams. And I was just wondering, we charging taxes for everything else that you want to charge taxes for, these stadiums and bridges and buildings and make us pay taxes on that. Well, why you can't make us pay taxes on a performing arts school? Because it just seemed like you would have a Decatur performing arts school. You would have all the connections to the big wigs, in Hollywood and, wherever these kids need to go, Las Vegas, San Francisco, wherever the dream is at. Seemed like you'd have connections to go ahead and ship them up out of there. I remember being in school, and I think the 10th grade or the 12th grade, they have you get ready to pick your, whatever you want to be in life or whatever. And they gave us this list, and it was a nurse and chef and babysitting, childcare, teacher. And I'm looking like, what is this crap? What? Hey, I don't want to do this. I'm a poet. This is what I'm saying when I'm looking over this list. I'm a poet. Where do I go? I didn't get to live out my dream. Because everybody had to be a nurse, or everybody had to be a doctor, or you had to find something to get into. But that wasn't my thing. I'm a poet. So I went to school and I was troublesome all in school. So that was my hurricane brewing over here. And then my mom was doing some weird shit. So that was the hurricane brewing over here. And sometimes, they come together and they twist and they twirl and they come back out, because I didn't have nowhere to go. I don't know. It just seemed like to me they would have a place to keep these kids from getting out of trouble and entertaining their talents, because there's a lot of talent in 217. There's a lot of talent in Decatur, but there's no way to let it out at. I mean, you can now, but back then there wasn't nowhere to let no talent out at. Most of the girls around here are gorgeous. They can be models. They had aspirations to be models. I did too. But then when you get out here, you don't have the connections, and people aren't who they say they are. You bump into a lot of that. People that can't take you nowhere. That's 1,000 setbacks. Like, I know about this hustling and flow business. I've been doing this for years. I've been working the back streets for years. It's just like, Decatur ought to do better. You know, you're so worried about Milliken. You're so worried about Milliken. You know, and I'm not even going to bash that. Just add something else new to your menu. Then you wouldn't have to report so much crime on the news. You know? I like to consider myself an expert in a lot of things, but I'm not an expert in the schooling system business. But I do have a question. What can we do to get a Decatur performing arts here for these kids? Because that would be my claim to fame if I ever struck any money. They better grab it before I do. And I'm sure somebody will. Because they got the money. I'm sitting here talking cash, but I ain't got it. But I'm speaking cash into existence. And guess what? Even if they did get a performing arts school, I'd still get my own. Because their performing arts school is going to be mine. You know? So, I don't know. I was just curious about this school system business. I was just wondering why they didn't have a performing arts for talented people. Everybody doesn't want to be a nurse or a hairstylist, and I tried that. Everybody, I'm just saying, you have eccentric people in the world as well. If you don't have a performing arts school, then how do you get your Princes? How do you get your Michael Jacksons? How do you get these people? A lot of these people have coming out of these schools that Decatur doesn't have. So here I am, a poet, looking at these criteria that I don't want to do. Because I already know it's not me. I don't want to be a nurse. But I thank God for nurses. But I don't want to be. But if I have to, I will. But if I find an outlet, then I'm going where I'm going. But I'm just saying, why aren't we opening up further doors? I don't know, but I'm going to put it like this. If I ever get any money, I'm going to have my own performing arts school. And I'm going to have the connections. Headed that way right now to get them. Oh, well. This concludes my story of just wondering why they don't have a performing arts for the kids. That's all I want to know. I believe the children of future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Who are we leading? Who have we been leading other than the boys club and girls club and the mothers in my neighborhood that took the kids to the park, took us to Lincoln Park and stuff like that. Like, and the girls did the bondugles and the boys did the basketball, and the girls that was fast, the tuttle ball was closer to the court, and you was over there playing tuttle ball because you was close. You listen. I'm just wondering why they don't have a Decatur public school performing arts for these childrens. I think they go to, listen, I don't know. I just know you get discovered with performing arts, and I guess they think ain't no type of electric indicator. Ain't no type of eccentric people in Decatur. I don't know. Anywho, don't let me take up y'all time. Cougar's Closet. Mwah.